Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, you're very most welcome on MNTV1 Talk Show. And now, today, remember, we are just talking about my journey, my story. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You're very most welcome once again on MNTV1 Talk Show. Remember, this is my journey, my story. And imagine who is the guest. It's only Cap City Neddy, the owner of the town. He owns the town. And we had a show with him, and this is what he said. Please watch with me as we are hearing what he said. Thank you.
Oh man, I'm gonna tell you, a lot of people will notice how transparent I have been upon my release from prison. I say I was started in the music industry about 1994. Drug dealing was pretty big back then, and I had signed to a record label, and it got to the point where we were on tour for like 6 years. And during those 6 years, you didn't have no time to work because you was never home longer than 3 days. So we would be standing on the street corners of every city and state we ever toured to selling drugs. I mean, seriously. Not to uplift wrongdoings. I bring that point up for one reason, and that's because for 25 years after that, that's all I did. You know, I sold drugs. I signed another record deal, and it was cool too. I was with that label for another about 7 years, 9 years, and it was okay until the CEO died. And you know, before that, I had kind of fell off track. I was selling drugs. I ended up in addiction, full-blown addiction for about 2 years, but just addiction for 9. And I ended up going to prison in 2007. And so while I was there, you know, I knew that I couldn't come out the same person I went in. I had no interest of staying in the town that I went to prison from. I knew it was time to come home. And so I told God, I said, God, I trust you to bring me out a different person with a different mindset and a different thinking. And out of nowhere, here comes this model keeping it real positive. So when people be like, hey, Tank, that's what, you know, my street name is Tank. So they be like, Tank, what's going on today? And these are people I just met in this jail because I was from the county I was in. I was in a whole nother jail because I broke the law in a whole nother county. And I'm like, keeping it real positive. And the guys, I'm like, keeping it positive, bro, you in jail, you about to go to prison. I'm like, well, I could be dead. I just seen on the news, one of the ladies that used to work for me died on the freeway here. Boyfriend threw her out the car on the road. So I just carried that all the way in. So during my time in the county, I was doing church services, and we were going to Bible studies, addiction counselings and alcohol counseling, drug counselings. When I got to prison, I just kind of really kept that same stride, just going to brother, father to father, NA, AA, CA, MA. They got Money Anonymous. They got any kind of addiction that you can face, sex addiction, anything. They have a group for that there. And so I stuck with the brother, you know, brother to brother, the father to father, you know, being locked up as fathers and your kids are going through. It was good to be able to deal with other people. It also taught me that in this life, you know, you could be worried about what's going on in yours. But I met a guy that wasn't getting out of prison until 25, 2501. We in 2022 right now. So he had done that much work. and that much dirt out here. So, I met people, basically, he was never getting out of prison. I met people who were never getting out of prison, and this was their slot. And that's what they did to pass their time. So once I moved through that system and I realized, hey, yeah, this is time to change. It was boring. I didn't have any problems there. People have a idea about prison that just really isn't if you don't create that issue for yourself. A lot of people create issues on their own. So if you going in there, you acting all tough, guess what you're going to find first? A fight. First thing they're going to do is want to fight you. So I just kind of pretty much went in there with a positive mindset that, hey, I ain't got but a few, about a year left up in here. I'm going to get up out of here. So they sent me to Noble, and when I first got to Noble, I seen all the people I knew from Columbus, Cambridge, and Zanesville. That was very promising to me. When I first got to my dorm and got to my rack, I was around a whole bunch of Columbus people. And one of them noticed me from a talent show I used to do at the CNS Lounge. They called it Talent Night. And it's like, Tank, you still be rapping? And people's like, yeah, I'm rapping all this and all that. Here comes all the honey buns and the oatmeal cream pies and noodles and chips. So they started paying me to rap up in there. So I would rap every day. Sometimes I would rap more than I wanted to, but if you ain't really, you like, wow, they're paying me to rap. I made my most money in prison. No, I'm playing. So really getting out of prison, well, that was Noble. So I spoke to it, you might have to edit that. So I spoke to a CO that I knew from Cambridge and asked her about her family and everything. And I don't know why I felt something was going wrong as soon as I did that. But the next day they came and they put me in the hole for 17 days. And when they released me, I was getting on the bus going to a whole nother prison and a whole nother area where they sent me to Belmont, which was okay. It was only 2 other people from Columbus. We all became cool. Cleveland and Youngstown had their issues. That was pretty much the big beef there. And Noble was Columbus and Cincinnati. I wasn't part of none of them for real. So I did my time in Belmont. Went to the honor dorm. From the honor dorm, they put me on the honor camp. Then a felony came out from Cambridge, so they put me back on the compound, which was horrible. I mean, I was just like, wow, I'm spoiled here. I don't ever have to go outside to get food. Now I got to walk in the snow to go to chow and all that. And when I got out of prison, eventually, I spent a week at Cambridge because I had to go to court, and they were like, hey, if you ever come back to our town, we're going to put you in prison for life. We're going to hold charges against you for the conspiracy of murder and all this different stuff because my best friend got murdered before I got to jail, and kind of led for me to act up in the town real bad. And neither here nor there, I came home. I tried to stay out of the street life as best possible, but my son came to stay with me, and I had nothing. And I had nothing to offer him. His mother kicked him out. He was only 12, 13, so I had to step up and do what I could to make sure I provided for him. And, in that time, you're going to have a couple bumps and bruises. So about 4 years, 5, 6 years after I got out, I had been robbed like twice at this point, at gunpoint. But the last time I got robbed, that's since I've been out. I've been robbed 7 times at gunpoint. But since I've been out, that last time, it changed the way I thought. I remember the conversation I had with God saying, Lord, I need you to change my thinking. I need you to change what my values are. A lot of people don't understand that having Christian values, I mean, I won't say any religion, but I will say this. I'm a Christian, but I don't hold the values of a Muslim any different, of a Buddhist, of a Hindu, or any of those different cultures. These are all provided by culture. So when people are set strong in the values of their religion of choice, then God, because I don't care if you call him Allah or Buddha or anything else, that's for them to understand who they're praying to. So we pray to God, Buddha, and their religion is God. Allah and the Muslim religion is God. It's all one God. And what that one God did for me was he let somebody rob me again. I said I can't take no more losses. I was tired. And the next day I was sad. I'm like, I'm going to make money. I mean, I get Social Security, but that's only $700. I need bands. You know, I'm used to having money. And the commercial said, we changed laws, man. It was it. That was it. It was like, we changed laws. And I was like, what? From that point, they got a audio production program. So once they got the audio production program at 18, pow, back in school. I did that program. 19, wow, I'm in film emphasis. Here we are now. I'm in an associate program. I wouldn't be where I am today without God leading me here. I can't say that I'm the perfect person. Can't say that every now and again I don't revert back to old ways to get things done. But the one thing that I do know is that because this is a thing with me and God, that God used murderers, prostitutes, people who are active sinners to do his will. So I feel like being here is God's way of using me. I'm physically and mentally disabled. A lot of people probably can't tell. I do pretty good in trying to hide that. You know, I don't ever want to feel vulnerable. I done been through a lot, and I just don't ever want to feel vulnerable or have to show my tail here at the Ohio Media School. You know what I'm saying? So I always just keep a good, happy presence and a positive presence just to ward off anybody who, you know, people wake up in bad moods. So if you're happy and, you know, you speak to them the right way, they're going to deal with you correctly. And that's how I've been doing it. So yeah, without God changing my life, using this school to change my life, I wouldn't be here. So I think God is what brought me to where I feel like I'm becoming more and more successful every day. Well, one thing I know about change is when I was in NA, NAA, and all these programs, they always talked about the people, places, and things. My advice for anybody who wants to change everything you're doing. Even if you're doing great in life and you're not in the streets or you're not doing this, but you feel like something's missing, add to what you have already. You know, sometimes people, they go looking for the next new thing. I'm not really one of those people. I feel like, okay, if I'm building on a life career, do I just stop at the core? This I'm gonna say it just in case any school people see it. Do I stop at the core program, or do I do everything and the associate's program and go from there and get a bachelor's somewhere else because they don't have that program here? Do I stop at a bachelor's? Do I keep going to a master's? Do I get a doctorate? See, the one thing about change is that you have to actually make the change. If you keep up on the same position every day you wake up and you're going through the same routine, you're going to do that every day if you don't change something. And that's what life changing is about. It's not that you have to stop being hood. You just have to stop being rudely hood, or violently hood, or a thief in the hood, or a robber in the hood. You gotta start making changes to the way you think. So anybody who really want to make changes, I advise you to talk to God, whether it be Allah, Buddha, or whoever you pray to. Talk to God, because God is the one who is going to hear your prayers. God is going to be able to understand the value of what your prayers mean to you, not to him. Your prayers are valuable to him all the time. But sometimes we pray for things and we don't know the value of that prayer to us. People pray for $1,000,000 all the time. God knows that if you can't handle $1,000,000 and this $1,000,000 is going to lead you into a toilet bowl of drug addiction and alcoholism, you're never going to make it. I got 2 Grammy nominations. I never made $1,000,000 in music. Now, I might have made it on the streets, but it went all down the toilet. So my advice to anybody else that wants to change, you got to change your thinking. You got to change the people that you moving with. You got to change the way you talk. You got to change the person that you feel like you are from the inside out. This isn't a thing where you could put on a suit and tie and be a totally different person. For somebody like me who came out of the streets, it was a thing that had to be worked on from the inside of me. Because there's things going on the inside of you. There's the way that your chemical balance works. Is my mind was always thinking this way when God needed me to slow down. So there was one point when I got out of prison that I found myself on the wrong path, and I ended up in a wheelchair for 2 months. Oh man, I totally dislocated my knee. I had the external fixators. I mean, my body's so pain riddled and bullet riddled. I got shot for the first time at 9 years old as a kid, so it's a lot of mud going on in your brain. But once you stop letting your past control what you do from now on, then there's nowhere that you can't go. There's nothing that you can't do, and there's nothing in this world that you cannot be a good, positive change to. That's what this is all about. So once you really want to change, then the people around you will start saying, what's up with it? Oh, I'm just keeping it real positive. That was the thing for me. I had to start from the inside, because really I was a very negative person. And even on days where my heart and my mind is troubled, or I'm feeling ugly coming out like just, when people encounter me, I give a positive reflection, because what people see in you today may affect how they deal with you tomorrow. If you're one of those type of people who cannot be approached, if people see that in you, they're just not going to approach you. If you always look mean, who wants to be approached? Who wants to approach the mean guy? You know what I'm saying? Who want to approach the mean lady? Why not just have a blessed day and everybody be happy? So one thing I learned to do was just, even when I was down, just keeping it real positive. Knowing that my bills was behind, and knowing that my money was low, and knowing that all this, I didn't take and put all that out there, because I knew that I had a God that can overpower any problem I had. I just had to live through him. So I had to let his light out through me, which started me working in the church. We on TV now. So I guess my advice to you is just change. Change something. Quit making excuses. Just do it.
This is powerful. This is powerful. My plan, I didn't want to come and distract you in the video, but allow me to do so. I want to come and distract you. I will come close to you, okay, and all of us, we're going to be in the shot. I just want to speak something to these people. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Messi Nesta. Remember, this is Mntv show. My journey, my story. The person you are seeing here, I'm the product of the change. Surely it has been a very great moment. Me being close to him. I am who I am today because of him. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, you can still change. Thank you so much, Mr. Kev.
And you as well,
I
Pastor
appreciate it.
Mercy. Mntv Mercy, my pastor. This guy is a genuine. I don't know what y'all see when y'all see this man. This man right here is a genuine pastor. He genuinely loves, he genuinely, openly serves God right here in this building. He did radio spots just surrounded by God and his music. So remember this when y'all see Pastor Mercy out here. This is a genuine man. This is a real Christian, and this is a real pastor. I love you, my brother.
Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I love you too.
I know you do. I know you do.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mntv 1. Remember, my journey, my story. I'm going to be honest to you. This, my journey, my story, was brought by him at Ohio Media School. And I wanted him to come here on the TV so that you can understand and learn something. We were doing this on the radio as everybody sharing his experience, but we have thought of upgrading it to put it to my journey and my story, because people, they want to be encouraged. People, they want to hear something that can build them and make a change. And this is a change has come because this is a great testimony. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. This is Cape City, Ned, the only man in town who owns a town. Mr. Cape,
Yeah.
let me leave you. Your last word.
I'll tell you what, man. If you got kids, brothers, nephews, uncles, 18 and over, got a high school diploma or equivalent GED, and they need something positive in their life to change them and get them onto the right path, send them up here send them here to the Ohio Media School, 5300 East Main Street. We have one in Cleveland, Ohio. We have one in Cincinnati, 2 in Chicago, 1 in Colorado, 1 in Miami, man. If you want to learn a skill that will take you literally out of the streets, where you don't have to sell drugs or anything, or sell your body, or sell your belongings when times get rough, come and learn this media field. I encourage you to stay focused and grounded in Christ at all times. This world right here, what we're seeing today, is something that God been telling us we're going to see since we can remember. And ever since I can remember, all I've known is wars and rumors of wars. So don't let the pandemic and stuff like that stir you wrong. Keep moving forward in this world. Everybody up there, up top, those top dogs, they just trying to keep us from going out here. They want to give us all money so we don't have to work, and they can tell us how to live. But really, in reality, you want to take care of yourself as a man or as a woman or as a parent. You want your children to know independence, full independence as much as possible. The only independence I don't have is I need God for everything I do. Without him, I'll be nothing. So that's the only independence I would never shed. So, hey, keep it real positive. Have a blessed day. Cap City Nitty, I am the city. Peace.
And rolling.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard it by yourself. It was so fantastic. But what I believe, you can still change. There is a time. This was the end of our show. Let's meet next time. Remember, I am Mntv My journey, my story. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Let me next time.